grass-based organic farmer from Keystone, Iowa. He raises a variety of crops and animals on a 160-acre Century farm. Owner of both Wallace Farms and meat company servicing both Iowa and Chicago, and Nick Sticks, a nationwide snack stick business. Nick is married and has 2 young boys, so let's give him a big round of applause.
I grew up in a very small town in northeast Iowa, 1,500 people called Strawberry Point. And yes, it was a beautiful small town. I had freedom to ride my bike, play baseball, and swim. And I was fortunate enough to be around agriculture because my father owned a farm, as you can see there. So I spent most of my days in the garden, trying to tag along, helping dad with chores. So the agrarian in me, which is kind of the theme, started at a young age. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later in the slides. I graduated high school and I went through to University of Dubuque, played baseball there. Moved out to Oregon, tried to expand my horizons and kind of open the world to me. And then I ended up moving back to the University of Iowa, where I finished up my schooling. That was when, you can see the bald head, I had a life-changing event when I was 20 years old. I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's disease. And that was actually a blessing in disguise. It was about 16 years ago. And it got our family thinking about why I had cancer. And we found that nutrition has changed so much, farming has changed so much in the last 20 to 30 years that people aren't allowed to have the immune systems that our forefathers had. And so I moved to Chicago, got tired of traffic, I moved out to Colorado. There's a European-style apprenticeship out in the mountains, and this is some of my classmates, where you do work and school at the same time and you get to ski at all the 5 resorts for free. So it made sense. And I was loving food at the time, and we started getting into, selling food. And so Wallace Farms was starting to evolve. So I moved back from Colorado, I started doing chores for my dad, and I really reconnected with that agrarian in my soul. And so I was trying to figure out how I could harness that. So what we did, we started with the first fence post right here. I was a lot younger there and a lot longer hair, but we put the first fence post in with the dream that someday we would be able to have a beautiful farm to pass down to our children. And so the farm is completely different now. But we launched Wallace Farms back in 2003, so it's a 10-year anniversary now. We work on grass-fed beef and sustainable agriculture. We have multiple drops here in Des Moines. It started out with just a few customers. I mean, it was really very small. I wasn't sure if it was going to work. We tried farmers markets and found that frozen meat on a 100-degree Iowa day, and people are shopping for vegetables and a meal and getting a beer or something and listening to music. It just wasn't our venue. So we started organizing these buying clubs. Joel Salatin called them metropolitan buying clubs. So they started out with 6 people and then they grew and grew. You can see the progression from my first whole trailer, the second trailer, the third one, and now we have to have a larger truck to take into Chicago because we have so many customers that are starting to realize that food is important. We got so many lines, long lines in the hot days and the cold parking lots in the winter that this is in the west suburbs of Naperville, Chicago. We did a little bit of a store warehouse because I told my family, I said, I just can't keep doing it. I mean, there's a line right out the door and I'm rushing through trying to talk to people about, sustainable agriculture. So the best thing that ever happened for us to take some of the pressure out was we started with a snack stick. And it was 2.5 years in the making. I wanted to create a snack stick because I was driving a lot. You go into a convenience store and I would search and search for something that I could take that wasn't full of sugar. So that's why it's snack sticks. January 4th of this year, I had a horrible snowmobile accident. I got thrown off, the ski of the snowmobile caught under my helmet, ripped it off, and I broke my spine in 5. 5 places. I was in the hospital for 5 weeks. I had to learn how to walk. I was paralyzed on the right side. I still have quite a bit of nerve pain, but I'm working through it. And I had my family and the farm to get me out of bed. So luckily, I'm still here. I have great employee families that have taken care of the business. And it's almost made my vision even clearer. And so luckily I got back in the pasture. And now, it's one of the reasons I decided to do these talks. And I'm going to start trying to present more, I think. And try to teach people about what agriculture could be. I mean, I don't have a lot of use of my legs and my arms like I used to, but I still have my brain. So I think that that's the lucky thing that I am taking on. There's our old chicken coop. We have a couple of 200 million hens. We just started that project late last fall. We move it every week. It's really fun, and the kids enjoy it. And to me, that's the way agriculture should be. And a favorite quote of mine from Abe Lincoln is, "The greatest fine art of the future will be the making of a comfortable living from a small piece of land." For him to say that, 167 years ago, is pretty cool. So my vision, the reason I put Iowa there, my vision is to turn Iowa all back into pasture-based farming. You know where it's at now. So it might take my entire 50 years of my life. But that's what I want to do. I want to do chicken coops on every farm stand. So that's my little boy that was taken last fall. And I put that out there because I believe that each person has an agrarian in them somewhere. Some people are already gardening or doing their thing. Some of you not. But, it can start early or it can start late. And so I encourage everybody just to take a look at the land and, try to evoke your inner agriculture. So thank you.